Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think one of the great advantages in our Bill of Rights enumerated in our Constitution is the commitment to freedom of speech. I think it's one of the things that really unites Democrats and Republicans, one of the many things that unite us in the West, frankly. But it is something in which authoritarian regimes certainly have a very different take. I want to thank our witnesses for being here with us this morning in order to testify on this subject, because I think that we in the West are pretty well accustomed to threats from brutal dictatorships that come head on. But danger can also come from some pretty obscure corners, and the latest, I think, is the push by foreign governments to use the International Telecommunication Union to regulate the ability through the Internet to really exercise free speech. And I think government regulation of the Internet really had its first big success last December at the ITU conference, and I wish we had been more effective in working earlier to head this off. But the fact that the strong objections of the United States and its allies were simply pushed aside by a majority vote, frankly, that was led by Russia, led by China, is, I think, a loud and clear warning of what lies ahead. Some might wonder why this kind of regulation by the ITU would be a concern, but you know, you hear the argument, well, this UN agency has been around for decades, it's worked to set technical standards, but I think the problem here is threefold. First, the ITU has never had any role in regulating the Internet and has no business doing so today. Second, the countries behind the proposal want to use the ITU to help them control the Internet in their countries. And third, and most important, the creativity and innovation of the Internet can flourish only in an environment free from intrusive government regulation. As bad as it was, the step taken at the ITU conference in December was only the first in a planned series by these authoritarian regimes. We know that the original proposal was even worse, so we must expect that the same countries will push for an even larger agenda in the future. So we've got our work cut out. I think the struggle here is going to be a permanent one. Once those forces have an initial victory, those seeking control of the Internet are not going to stop. It's too valuable to them as a tool. Fortunately, I think we have strength in numbers in the West in terms of, I think we have strength in our ideas here, but I think we need a forum, as demonstrated here today, in order to begin this discussion so that this discussion plays out abroad as well. I think Congress has a key role to play, such as last year's resolution that passed our House unanimously and our Senate unanimously, as well as the proposed legislation that we're going to talk about today. With this hearing, we shine a spotlight on those who seek to do their work behind the scenes and in the shadows. The truth of the old saying that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance is, I think, being demonstrated here. And if we are to prevail, we must always remember that we're engaged in a battle with very high stakes, the free flow of information and commerce, the very bedrock, in fact, of our society. That was realized by our founders. We should keep that in mind today. Thank you.
The gentleman yields back the balance of his time. Chairman now